What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing a reading for the month ahead, for the month of June, for all my Scorpio Sun sign friends. If you were born between the dates of October 23rd and November 21st, then you are a Scorpio Sun sign, and this reading is for you. In this reading, we're going to look at the month ahead in June, and we're going to take a look at the past, present, and future energies that you're taking with you, as well as what you can hold on to and what to let go of in the month of June, as well as obstacles that might stand in your way this month, as well as lessons that you are expected to learn in the month of June. Remember, this is a general overall reading, and if you want a more specific reading tailored just for you, then head on over to my Etsy shop. I've got a bunch of readings over there. The link is in the description, and I can tap into your very specific energies and give you a more personalized reading. But as it sounds, this is this is a general overall reading, and I'm going to be using the Druidcraft Tarot, and I would appreciate if you just give me a second to center myself and ask the tarot cards the question: what can Scorpio Sun signs expect in the month of June? Alright, good enough. Let me cut the deck and deal out 8 cards. My oh my. Interesting set of cards here. The first thing I noticed is we got the Death card. That is our card, Scorpios. I say we, that's our card because I'm a Scorpio myself. And the Death card is the Scorpio card. So we'll see what that means in a moment. Let's take a look at these cards one by one. The first card we're going to look at is the Nine of Cups here. And this card represents the energies of last month. So the energies of May. I'm getting the feeling that May was a good month for a lot of us. We were full of mirth and merriment and happiness and emotional fulfillment. Of course, there's something always missing, so it's not like we were like doing the best we have ever done in our lives. But I get the feeling that a lot of us were pretty happy in the month of May. We saw some good results, and we were able to take a step back and really give ourselves a toast to everything that we did so well up in heretofore. And I don't know, I just get the feeling that a lot of us were feeling pretty satisfied with ourselves. Maybe a bit lonely because, you know, as you can tell, this guy's here by himself, toasting to no one. He'd love to have more friends, of course, but I think he's generally pretty happy. So I get the feeling that Scorpios, we were pretty content in the month of May. Nothing too challenging that we couldn't handle really came up. This card represents the present energies, the energies of right now. We've got the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is all about conflict. It's about different energies pushing and pulling us in different directions. And I get the feeling that a lot of us are kind of conflicted as to where to go next. We're not really sure what the next step is, and there's all sorts of different options and opportunities pulling us in different directions, and we're just really not sure where to put our energy. And yes, I think we're lacking a clear and defined pathway to getting what we want. Maybe some of us are kind of conflicted as to what we want, and we're not even sure about that. So I definitely see some scattered energy going on right now. What comes next? What comes now? You know, we felt that happiness and that merriment, but that can only last so long until we have to get back on the grind. And what do we do next? I don't know. I think a lot of us are a little bit confused as to what's happening now in our lives, and we're just kind of scattered in this hectic energy. So we'll see what's coming up in the month of June, which is what this Death card represents. This card represents the energies of next month, so the month of June, and it is Death. Now, if you're not too familiar with tarot, don't freak out. No one's going to die. The Death card is about change. Think of death as changing. When we die, we don't cease to exist. We merely transform into something new. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I think a lot of us in the month of June, we're going to experience some drastic change. And, change for so many of us means something negative. But change in reality is almost always positive. Not almost, it is always positive. We're always changing for the better. And so when we see change happen, we're kind of fearful. And that's just our ego minds telling us that we don't want to change, even though we need to change. But change is always beneficial. Change is always for the better. So we're always allowing something new to come in. Now, since this is a general overall reading, I can't exactly say what is going to change because it's going to be different for everybody. Yeah, but I'm getting the feeling that a lot of us are going to change course as far as what we think is our life purpose. Not really change drastically, but shift the focus of it. Is kind of the feeling I'm getting from this. Maybe you thought you wanted to be an accountant, but now you'd rather be a lawyer. That kind of shift. That's just an example. But I'm getting the feeling that it's not a huge shift, but something is going to change, and it's not going to be what we expected. And it might cause a lot of us to shift directions in our lives and figure something else out. But generally, the Death card is about big change in our lives. So we got a major arcana there. We can't deny what that means to us. So let's look at this card here. This card represents what we should hold on to for the month of June. And we got Cernunnos, who is the devil in most other decks. This is a pagan deck. So we got some pagan mythology here. Okay, we should hold on to... Wow, that's really interesting. Just give me one moment with this card. Wow, we should hold on to our shadow side, our shadow selves. I think what this card is telling us is that for so many of us, people would rather ignore their shadow side, right? It's a part of them that they don't want to acknowledge, they don't want to look at, they don't want to even hear about. When I say shadow sides, the negative aspects of your personality, of your emotions, of your thoughts. And so many of us would just prefer to ignore it and imagine that they're not there. But the reason these shadow aspects of ourselves are there is so that we can learn from them and become a better person. And if we just ignore them, then we're not learning and we're not becoming better. So this card is asking you to really embrace your shadow self, especially in this time of change coming up in June. And really look at the negative aspects of yourself and ask yourself if these are things that you want to keep or if you want to change. And if they're things that you want to change, now's the time to take action on that, because that's what they're there for. That's what these shadow aspects are here to do, is to teach us about ourselves. So this card is saying hold on to your shadow aspects. Do not suppress them. Do not ignore them, because they have so much to teach us about ourselves and where we're going and how to get there. So that's a very interesting card. We got the devil and we got death in the same reading. Scorpios, we've always been kind of a dark sign, right? Kind of internally, like an ocean. At the bottom we have very deep depths, and the bottom of the ocean is very dark. And so that's the kind of feeling I get with Scorpios. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting from this reading. Our depths are really deep and dark, but we have to explore them in order to understand the whole ocean. Look at that metaphor. Oh, I love it. I'm doing a little dance, a little ocean metaphor dance. All right. This card here represents obstacles we're likely to encounter in the month of June, and we've got the Three of Swords. Yeah, there's going to be some betrayal. Not betrayal, but disappointment. Yeah, I'm getting the sense that we're going to be disappointed, and whatever this change is, I feel like it has something to do with that. Whatever that change is, I think a lot of us are going to see it negatively. And our ego minds are going to tell us that this change is bad, and we're going to be disappointed that our lives have changed so drastically. But it's so important to remember that this change is positive. You just have to see it as positive. You have to tell your ego mind that it is positive, rather than letting the ego mind tell you how horrible this change is and how your life is over and ruined, is never going to be the same, and you're going to die alone and scared, right? That's just the ego mind running its negative ego programs. When the reality of the situation is this change is going to bring about something new. It's going to make room for something new. So a big challenge for us in the month of June is to stay positive in the face of this change, to not let it get us down, to not feel betrayed by the universe or betrayed by our loved ones when things are not working out the way that we thought they would, when things are changing all around us. So keep that in mind as we proceed into the month of June. To stay positive, keep those ego thoughts, the mind positive. This card here represents what to let go of in the month of June, and we've got the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is all about lying in wait, just waiting for something. And I think this card is telling us that this is no time to just idly sit by and let life happen. I think this is a time to embrace change in the month of June, is to figure out what's going on as quickly as possible so that we can get back on track. We can make the audible, make the adjustment, and get back on track when things do happen to change for us. So sitting back and relaxing and just waiting for things to happen is not necessarily going to be in our best interest in the month of June. We're going to have to take a proactive approach to figuring things out, to understanding the world around us, and to not just dwell on what we perceive to be negative emotions, feelings, thoughts, or actions, right? Stay positive, stay active is what this card is saying, and don't go brooding, don't get depressed and sleep the day away, right? Don't say, oh, woe is me, I'll just hang back. Now's not the time for that. June is going to be a time for a lot of action, I feel like. This card represents the people around you in the month of June, and we've got the Ace of Cups. Oh, I love to see these aces, especially with the cups and people. So I'm getting the feeling that there's going to be an overflowing of emotions coming from the people in your lives. Get the feeling that they're going to be bringing in a new emotion, and it's going to be spilling over, and it's going to be, spill over into you. And I get the feeling that maybe this new energy is going to bring about new people. That's what I'm getting, and it's going to be an emotional time for everyone involved, it feels like. I wish I could, do a more specific reading and tell you what the Death card represents, what change is coming. And it's going to be different for all of us, I have a feeling. So I can't tell you what these new emotions are or who these new people that are coming into your life are, but I get the feeling that there's going to be some new emotions coming from the people around you, and they might be responding to the change that you've gone through, and it's going to bring about some new emotions that they're feeling either for you or about you. And I think that's going to spill over into our lives, and we're really going to feel it. And I think that's what this ace here is representing, is the people around us are going to be just feeling that new energy that we're experiencing as well. They can't help but feel it with us. This last card here represents the biggest lesson that we are going to learn in June, and it is, drumroll please, the Six of Wands. Okay, this is the biggest lesson that we're going to learn in the month of June, and it is the Six of Wands. This card is saying that, Scorpio, it is time to step into that leadership role. Though you may want to hang back and just let things play out, though you may want to brood and be kind of depressed, I think in June is going to be a time for you to really step into a role where people are going to look up to you, and they're going to see you as a shining beacon or a candle in the cave. You know what I mean? They're going to look up to you, and it's up to us as Scorpios. We're natural born leaders. It's up to us to take that leadership role and really guide people. We're going to be going through our own stuff, and it's going to be a difficult thing to do, to take a leadership role in the face of so much change. But it's something that's going to be asked of us in the month of June, is the feeling I'm getting. It's going to be something we're going to have to learn. We're going to have to learn to take that leadership role, even though that we don't even know what we're doing, okay? Even though we're not really sure where we're headed, we can still lead people there, okay? That's what this card is saying. It's a very interesting card indeed to get, but We're complex signs, Scorpios, and this is a complex situation from what I'm getting. So now that we've got all these cards uncovered, let's look at the overall picture that they paint for us and do an overview here. Last month, the month of May, seemed like a happy month, a month of merriment, emotional fulfillment. Though we weren't 100%, fulfilled emotionally. I think we were pretty close. We were doing a great job. We felt a lot of happiness, though we may have felt a little bit alone at times. Generally, that's what Scorpios do, kind of feel a little bit alone because we're kind of a different sign than most other signs. But yeah, I'm getting the sense that there was an emotional success there, and we were feeling happy in May, that we were there for people, and they were there for us. Moving into the present energies, we got the Five of Wands, and I feel like we're a little bit confused right now. Like, oh, that was so much fun, May. Like, now what do we do? Right? May felt so good, and now I'm not really sure where to go with things. And I think that's what the Five of Wands is saying right now, is that there's some conflicting energies, there's some scattered energies, and it's just kind of a confusing time. We're not really sure where to put our action, where to put our energy, and what direction to take it. But moving into June, I think the universe is going to make us decide. It's going to show us the way. It's going to make a change in our lives. Generally, when we talk about major arcana, the Death card, the Scorpio card, we're talking about outside influences that kind of force you, not really something you can really control. So I'm getting the sense of an outside force really just changing things and shaking things up a bit. And the death of some aspect of our lives will occur, which will make room for something new, though I can't say what that is without doing a more in-depth reading for you guys. What to hold on to is the Nunos, and we got to hold on to our shadow side. Do not ignore your shadow side. Do not suppress it, because we need to understand it. In order to grow and learn and become better, a better person, you have to understand your shadow aspects and how they are affecting you and how you can change them. And the shadow aspects are there for you to understand what you don't like about yourself so that you can change it. So if you're just suppressing it, that's going to cause health problems. That's going to manifest in all sorts of physical ailments. So don't do that. Really analyze your shadow side. Don't be afraid of it. It's not there to scare you, though it does seem scary. It's there to teach you. And if you allow it to teach you, then you will grow as a person. The biggest obstacle that we're likely to face is going to be disappointment. I get the feeling that this change will affect a lot of us negatively, especially in the ego mind. It will start telling ourselves that this change is bad, even though it's not. So it's very important to stay positive and see the bright side of things. Don't get depressed if you can avoid it. Really make sure that your mind is staying positive. Really be conscious of the thoughts that you're having in your head, so that you're not doting on negative things. You're not dwelling on negativity, because that could cause a downward spiral that you don't want to see this month, because there's so much going on. We can't allow that to happen on top of everything. What to let go of is the Hanged Man. Don't sit and wait. This is not a time to sit on the sidelines and wait for things to pan out. This is the time to do some shadow work, to embrace some new energies, to figure out these new energies, and ultimately to take a leadership role. So no sitting down on the sidelines, please. Okay, we're going to need you to get involved in the month of June. This is going to be a month of big things happening for you guys, and we can't just sit idly by while that happens. Okay. The people around you seem like they're going to be affected by this energy too, and there's going to be an outpouring of just kind of a new emotion that you haven't really experienced from these people too often, from the people in your lives. These are your friends, your families, your coworkers, the strangers you see on the street, and this is an overall thing. I think not everyone is going to have this outpouring of new emotion, but I think a lot of people in your camp are going to be affected by this new energy, and it looks like they're going to be really supportive, and they're going to be giving you their emotions freely and really helping you as much as they can, at least emotionally. So the people in your life for the month of June seem to be very helpful and very nurturing, and want to help you in a very positive way. So that's very good thing to happen in times of change. The last card here represents the lessons that we have to learn in June, and it's going to be time to take a leadership role, guys. Like I said, I know it's going to be hard in the face of all this change and all this shifting energy and all this new movement, but this is what we were destined to do as Scorpios. Most of us were destined to be leaders, I feel like, and it's going to be whatever way that leadership role wants to poke its head up into your life. Some of us are going to be I can't think of all the ways there are to be leaders, and it's going to apply to all of us in different ways. So I can't tell you which way that you're going to need to be a leader in the month of June, but you already know now, or you will know in the next month how you're meant to be a leader. So I think it's going to be important that you embrace that energy and don't shy away from it. Don't sit on the sidelines. You gotta pick up your leader stick, whatever. What does he have? A little falcon here? Okay, pick up your leader falcon and go, and show the people which way to go, and they'll see you doing it amongst in the face of change. So I think they'll look up to you even more. Alright guys, so Scorpios, that is your overall reading for the month of June. I hope you guys got something out of that. Remember, this is a general reading. If you want a more specific spread tailored just for you, where I tap into your specific energies, head on over to my Etsy shop. The link is in the description. I got a bunch of new spreads over there that you can check out, and we can work together to solve pretty much any problem that you have. Got a whole bunch of options for you to choose from over there. If you liked this reading, then please give it a like. Just hit the little button, click. If you want to say something, or if you have any questions, then put a comment in the comment section. I'll gladly respond to those. And also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. I do these Tarotscopes bi-monthly, so stay up to date on those. I also sprinkle in some videos along the way that keep you entertained, so I hope you guys will hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.